Next up, we have a panel discussion on mapping the contours of cloud and AI adoption in India. For the same, please join me in welcoming on stage S.N. Tripathi, Advisor Technical, NTPC Limited; Varsha Nirbhavane, Deputy General Manager IT, GAIL India Limited. I request our audience to please welcome our panelists with a huge round of applause. Ananta, Jagdale, Deputy General Manager PNT, National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation; Sumit Kumar, Nodal Officer, Broadcast Engineering Consultants India Limited; Sunando Bhattacharya, Chief Revenue Officer, Yotta Data Services.
Thank you, and we will try to keep it short and succinct before lunch. So, what we would like to, as the session theme shows, mapping the contours of cloud and AI adoption in India. We have been hearing about different projects where obviously cloud already has been deployed, and even AI adoption is becoming mainstream, from Bhashini to other government projects. So what I would like to understand, and I may start, I'd like to start with S.N. Tripathi from NTPC. When we are talking about the cloud adoption journey, and typically what sort of flexibilities are required, especially from a large public sector unit perspective, when you are adopting cloud in that overall cloud journey, what are the flexibilities that?
So first of all, thank you. And I think this panel is between the audience and lunch. So we have to be very specific. I think the topic, I was just getting through the various last discussion and others, very relevant for, especially for the public sector, how we are going to adopt this revolution and getting the best out of the process improvement in any public sector. So now, the flexibility that is required for any cloud or any AI system is that it has to be fit in the existing system. The first is that. Second, the public sector operates largely on the scalability.
True.
So now the scalability is to be adjusted. And second, this adoption, because public sector suffers from cultural shocks. So now this cloud and AI, it must be featured in such a way that it is getting, because you need even the SAP, which has took some time to be adopted by different public sector. Now it is all right, we are being used. So the flexibility that it must integrate with the existing system also, it is also required. So existing system as well as adaptability by the people, and most of the public sector are giant units like our NTPC. And you know, the AI revolution in the country, I always give a slogan that AI is for energy and energy is for AI. So both are interrelated, and any adoption of the AI in any sector, any public sector, for the process improvement. Now, as far as the NTPC is concerned, so we are a process industry. So most of our processes are already automated. So we are using artificial intelligence from long time in process, means efficiency improvement, other process improvement. Now our services are getting, we are now using the AI for our services. We are having our inbuilt hybrid system, inbuilt cloud that we are maintaining, and we are having an external AWS cloud also being hired for the external. So this hybrid is very, very important for any public sector to adopt. Okay. So these are the few points of flexibility that a public sector is willing that the provider should provide this flexibility so that it can be adopted.
Okay, thank you. Summing up the three important points that you mentioned, one, obviously, and especially I would say from a public sector perspective, it's critical that whatever this new system, it fits into the existing system, because otherwise a complete overhaul will not be feasible for all practical purposes. Then the second most important, or I would say rather most important point, is on the capacity building from a public sector perspective. That is important. And the third thing is the cultural integration that you mentioned. Yes, that's a challenge. It's often overlooked. But yes, that remains a question of paramount importance. That's true in an organization like NTPC. Okay, from NTPC, I'll come to a similar sort of organization, again in the energy sector, and I can see Varsha.
Next up, we have a panel discussion on mapping the contours of cloud and AI adoption in India. For the same, please join me in welcoming on stage S.N. Tripathi, Advisor, Technical, NTPC Limited; Varsha Nirbhavane, Deputy General Manager, IT, GAIL India Limited. I request our audience to please welcome our panelists with a huge round of applause. Ananta, Jagdale, Deputy General Manager, PNT, National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation; Sumit Kumar, Nodal Officer, Broadcast Engineering Consultants India Limited; Sunando Bhattacharya, Chief Revenue Officer, Yotta Data Services.
Thank you, and we will try to keep it short and succinct before lunch. So, what we would like to, as the session theme shows, mapping the contours of cloud and AI adoption in India. We have been hearing about different projects where obviously cloud already has been deployed, and even AI adoption is becoming mainstream, from Bhashini to other government projects. So what I would like to understand, and I may start, I'd like to start with S.N. Tripathi from NTPC. When we are talking about the cloud adoption journey, and typically what sort of flexibilities are required, especially from a large public sector unit perspective, when you are adopting cloud in that overall cloud journey, what are the flexibilities that?
So first of all, thank you. And I think this panel is between the audience and lunch. So we have to be very specific. I think the topic, I was just getting through the various last discussion and others, very relevant for, especially for the public sector, how we are going to adopt this revolution and getting the best out of the process improvement in any public sector. So now, the flexibility that is required for any cloud or any AI system is that it has to be fit in the existing system. The first is that. Second, the public sector operates largely on the scalability.
True.
So now the scalability is to be adjusted. And second, this adoption, because public sector suffers from cultural shocks. So now this cloud and AI, it must be featured in such a way that it is getting, because you need even the SAP, which has took some time to be adopted by different public sector. Now it is all right. We are being used. So the flexibility that it must integrate with the existing system also, it is also required. So existing system as well as adaptability by the people, and most of the public sector are giant units like our NTPC. And you know the AI revolution in the country, I always give a slogan that AI is for energy and energy is for AI. So both are interrelated, and any adoption of the AI in any sector, any public sector, for the process improvement. Now, as far as the NTPC is concerned, so we are a process industry. So most of our processes are already automated. So we are using artificial intelligence from long time in means efficiency improvement, other process improvement. Now our services are getting, we are now using the AI for our services. We are having our inbuilt hybrid system, inbuilt cloud that we are maintaining, and we are having an external AWS cloud also being hired for the external. So this hybrid is very, very important for any public sector to adopt. So these are the few points of flexibility that a public sector is willing that the provider should provide this flexibility so that it can be adopted.
Okay, thank you. Summing up the three important points that you mentioned, one, obviously, and especially I would say from a public sector perspective, it's critical that whatever this new system, it fits into the existing system, because otherwise a complete overhaul will not be feasible for all practical purposes. Then the second most important, or I would say rather most important point, is on the capacity building from a public sector perspective. That is important. And the third thing is the cultural integration that you mentioned. Yes, that's a challenge. It's often overlooked. But yes, that remains a question of paramount importance. That's true in an organization like NTPC. Okay, from NTPC, I'll come to a similar sort of organization, again in the energy sector, and I can see Varsha smiling. So GAIL. From a GAIL perspective, what I would like to understand is we have been hearing this word sovereign prominently from the morning. So the sovereignty of the cloud. From a public sector perspective, how do you look at ensuring a secure, resilient, and a sovereign cloud? More than the private enterprises, these are, I would assume, of paramount importance for a public sector. So how are you looking at that?
Yeah, that's a valid and important question. But before that, I would just like to add one point regarding the flexibility that we are looking for. Of course, the points that the other panelists have mentioned, one point I would like to adhere to is the innovation and future proofing. Now that we are talking about AI, okay. So the cloud service providers, from the cloud service providers, what we are also looking for, the flexibility to innovate and future proof. Now that AI thing is there, we would certainly require AI powered solutions, maybe the GPU infra. And that's what I believe Yotta and Microsoft collaboration is going to bring in. So that was one point. And now coming to the question regarding the security, resilience, and sovereignty of the cloud options. Of course, these are the absolutely fundamental things. In fact, non-negotiable, I would say. Security, data security, resilience, and sovereignty is something that is non-negotiable for any PSUs. For us, though, it is the fundamental, because considering the case of PSUs who are handling national critical information, national sensitive information. In our case, we are handling, national projects. In our case, it is natural gas pipeline, the hazardous plants. So the data security is absolutely required. So the CSPs have to ensure data security in terms of encryption, access control, or whatever guardrails they can adopt to. Security is definitely the must-haves for us. And as far as resilience is concerned, well, in our case also, service downtime is something that can have very far-reaching consequences. So the uptime is absolutely essential. So resilience, the cloud service providers have to have that resilient cloud options so that the public services are not disrupted. And as you rightly said, sovereignty is something that we are talking about right from the morning. And it is something absolutely fundamental for us given the current geopolitical situation. It is something that is not just for data protection, but for the national security as well.
True.
So, yeah, these are the factors, these are absolutely fundamental and non-negotiable, especially for PSUs per se, it is the thing.
True, thanks. What Varsha emphasized that most of these PSUs, they are running mission critical applications, and yes, more and more so. While they were always mission critical and of national importance, today's geopolitical situation demands perhaps the that quantum of importance has multiplied even more times. So the cloud adoption as well as the AI journey, the confidentiality and the security part remains of paramount importance. And for solution providers like Yotta and Microsoft, who are partnering with the PSUs, that should remain perhaps the priority number one. Ananta, I'll come to you next. Again, a very mission critical PSU perspective. The other important question which Mr. Tripathi also touched upon a little bit, from a PSU standpoint, the budget friendly and the cost effectiveness. I would use cost effectiveness. That is also of importance because end of the day it's the public money which is so. How do you manage? On the other hand, the innovation and the newer technology, what we are talking since morning, adopting those also remain important. But as we say, everything comes at a cost. So from a PSU perspective, how do you ensure that cost effectiveness and the innovation both go hand to hand?
Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my views on infrastructure project and how this can be utilized, this AI and cloud services. And very vital point you had been asked directly on me, the budget and all that. Because yes, PSU is definitely accountable for a single rupee which is given from or raised by the market, and it's a public money. So we have to frame and we have to work within the framework of certain guidelines, that is GFR guidelines and everything. So based on that scenario, I would say key budgetary and adaptability, it should be very flexible so that we can also come under ambit of audit and all these things. So whatever requirement or data, cloud and management will be there, it should be very up to the market. It should not be exorbitant, so that in the name of AI and cloud services, we should not end up in wasting the money or something like that. And as far as this data is concerned, we know the very basic principle that garbage in, garbage out. So whatever data we are going to use, that should be very critical, that should be very important, so that we should not waste on this kind of services while we procuring all these services.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Again, that's a critical perspective and often maybe overlooked when we are going gung-ho about the technology adoption. Sumit, I'll come to you next. From a PSU which sort of advises other PSUs on technology adoption, very briefly, if you can highlight some of the global best practices which can be replicated or which are already being replicated, especially as most of these PSUs are porting the applications to cloud and now going on the AI adoption journey. Which would be one or two of these global best practices which are best replicable in the Indian scenario?
Actually, when we talk about the cloud, there will be, if you see the Gartner hype cycle, that will be refer that means cloud service management is the already on the peak level services.
True.
But what the things is that when we talk about in the perspective of the India's, right now we are talking about the cloud sovereignty. The many speaker also means talking about that same point. It's the when we talk about the cloud sovereignty, it's not only related to something like the putting whole things in the one boundary of the India's, the perspective of the data. It's something like that. Data is the right now is the gold mine for whatever the emerging technology we are thinking on. It's talk about the AI. It will be the it will be accommodated by the many agencies, and right now it's bringing the revolution in the side of whatever the things we are adopting. If you are talking about the defense, if you are talking about the power sector, where the AI is adopted by the everyone, and what actually cloud things will be doing, it's providing the engines where anyone can do that. If we doesn't have the cloud, we're not able to think about the Netflix, we're not able to think about the Ola, because the building the infrastructure, IT infrastructure is too heavy. So what the India's perspective is something like that, to adopt the sovereign cloud, where the startups or any sectors can focus on their domain to develop their models, and what the cloud providers can give their platform where they can train their models, and the specialization will be relied, and the fruitful result will be going to be the produced.
Okay, thank you. So your emphasis is on customization, individual customization, depending on the dynamics of that particular domain or vertical, and then from a cloud service provider perspective, we have Yotta and Microsoft both here. Accordingly tweak their offering so that flexibility is there. Okay. Sunando Bhattacharya, I'll come to you next. Now you have heard all the organizations, large public sector organizations, and they have raised all important points. One, capacity building has been talked about, security, resilience has been talked about. We have talked about the cost effectiveness. We have talked about fitting it into the existing system, the importance. We have talked about some of the global best practices. Now my question is, as a solution provider, how would you respond? Very briefly, if you can mention, what are the solutions you would have for all these large PSUs?
Sure. So thank you for all the perspectives, and so let me try and do justice to what we are trying to achieve over here. So first, let's understand what is this partnership all about. I think there has been enough spoken, but I like to make things simpler and just for everyone to get something, some other business needs. And similarly, there are private clouds or bespoke solutions are required to operate your application environment. Now, along with hybrid, a new word has now come in the last 2-3 years because of global geopolitical scenarios, which is sovereign. Because before sovereign, we were only talking about data localization, but now we're talking about sovereignty. And sovereignty adds that additional layer of control, which now comes on top of the cloud infrastructure. So this beautiful partnership that we have done with Microsoft, where Yotta is providing its complete cloud and data center services in an integrated, and its AI platform, its NVIDIA AI Factory, in an integrated manner with Microsoft AI services, and extending that to the complete Azure services is a very unique proposition. What it essentially enables is to run a lot of these Microsoft services inside Yotta's data center, which is fully sovereign. Yotta is a completely sovereign Indian company, completely controlled by Yotta team, managed by Yotta. So now you're essentially getting the best of both worlds, where you're getting a sovereign infrastructure, but built on global technologies. For example, we'll be offering Microsoft databases as a service from us. So a lot of your databases may be powered by Microsoft database. Now that, instead of running it on an international cloud, you will be able to run it inside Yotta's data center in a sovereign architecture. And like that, this is just the beginning. We're going to scale this out in a way where a lot of these services will be available in a sovereign format. That's the first part on this resiliency. And obviously, because it's a collaboration, the scalability, Yotta today operates 2 hyperscale data centers. So it will be a DCDR architecture. These are 160 megawatt, tier 4, tier 3 data centers. So very scalable architectures. Now coming to the point of cost, and that is absolutely critical. One of the things that Yotta at our end anyways has invested a lot over the last 3-4 years is creating that value proposition, which is very much needed in the India market, because India is a value-led economy, right? We obviously want to get the best value of whatever we are spending. So we have invested our own engineering team. We have a 150-member engineering team in Delhi, and that essentially has built a complete cloud platform, which enables us to adopt a very high amount of open source technologies with enterprise-grade SLA and support, and deliver as a cloud format to our customers. Today, we are doing that with NIC, we're doing that with STPI, many large enterprise and some government customers. And we had Mr. Amitabh Nag from Bhashini talking about what Bhashini has achieved, and a large part of that is currently running on Yotta infrastructure and driven by our GPUs and our cloud services. So that's on the cost efficiency side. Coming last on the system side, and this is something that we have been working on a lot. Like, so you mentioned about SAP, and that's been something. So we have our own managed SAP services, which are offering over 120 plus customers using those services. Yes, there is a push from SAP to go on RISE and go on to hyperscalers, but at the same point of time, there are many large enterprise customers and PSUs who are choosing not to go. And because of the scale of business they are giving to SAP, SAP is accepting also, and their providers like us are coming in and giving a hybrid solution. So all those formats are possible.
Okay.
The summarization is coming together of hybrid and sovereign into one consolidated offering.
Okay, so 3 important points you touched upon. The first was it's an amalgamation of the global best technology with the best local infrastructure. So truly the term glocal, which came in vogue some time back. Then the importance, especially from an Indian market perspective, and more so because these are large public sector units on the value proposition front. And last, this energy, that you are talking about. Great. So for paucity of time, I'll do a quick round with all the panelists. And what I would like to do is a little bit of crystal ball gazing. Again, Tripathi sir, I'll start with you. If we look at for the next couple of years from an NTPC perspective, on the AI front, now we are talking about more and more what I would call mainstreamization of AI in the system. What are the significant projects, without getting into the confidential details, that you would like to highlight, and what sort of outcomes you expect from them?
As I already explained, that we are a process industry as well as we are having a construction wing, and there are many aspects of hydro as well as solar and wind, where this AI integration can help in better forecasting, better efficiency, and the process improvement. But the one area that focus is not happening in the country as a whole is how we can use the AI in construction technology or construction management, because overall the growth is the only aspect on which India is driving so far. So we are growing country, we are not a matured country. So on construction side, project management side, how my AI is going to fulfill, it is a question. And that suppose Google Map shows that this is the expected time in which you are reaching the destination, and more or less it is correct. How I cannot forecast my project that it will be completed in this with this much band and
Okay.
confidence level.
Okay.
So this is the one of the things that I wanted to share.
Excellent analogy to show, and it's true in a maturing economy. The construction part and the project management of construction, how AI can play the role. That's an aspect that has been relatively ignored till now. How that can be maybe fodder for thought for the technology experts from Yotta and Microsoft who are present here. Okay, Varsha, I'll come to you from a GAIL perspective on the AI front. What would you like to highlight which is in the offing?
Yeah, as far as GAIL is concerned, well, we have already gone live on Rise with SAP. So we are already on S4HANA. And it comes with inbuilt features of, it is AI powered. So it comes with a lot of AI features and data analytics capabilities. So we are leveraging those benefits. And we are also, I cannot
No,
the
obviously.
details, but we are also doing a lot of AI projects to derive various benefits, be it operational savings, operational efficiency. And one aspect that I would like to touch upon is AI skilling.
Okay.
Before we embark upon AI journey, start you adapting to AI, start finding use cases of AI in our processes. The capacity building of the employees, the manpower, is also equally crucial, and we have already started a step on that. We are in fact, started 2 months back, we started a company-wide AI skilling program that we are calling it as AI Tarang.
Okay.
And we are skilling all our employees, all 5,000 employees on AI skills, right? Starting from the fundamental basic awareness to the certification courses. So that is one thing that we have already begun. And in the process, we are getting huge and encouraging response, and people are coming with various use cases, some unique and different use cases also. So we are looking forward to, integrate AI more and more into our business functions, business processes.
Okay, thank you. So, an important point in the morning when AICT Chairman TG Sitharam was, he touched upon this, but AI skilling, yes, end of the day, whatever mainstreamization it's talked about, if there are not adequate manpower with requisite skills, things won't work out. And that's a very, I would say, innovative and great venture to hear from an organization like GAIL doing. And as you rightly said, individual use cases can be built out of there from that skilling perspective. Great. Ananta, from an NICDC perspective, what will be from the on the AI front? What is in the offing in the next few quarters, if I may say?
Yeah. As far as Industrial Development Corporation is concerned, definitely we are looking forward for the interdependability of this data, because for development of any infrastructure project, we have to deal with at least 8 to 10 different departments, and the data which we accumulate from them, it has to be sorted out, it has to be analyzed, and it has to be used for our development purpose. So if any handy tool will be available or the AI will help us, that will be great for development, because personally I was for the development of Yashobhumi, which is now at Sector 25 Dwarka, which is developed by NICDC under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. I was the person right from the foundation stone ceremony, when the land was allotted from DDA to our department for this development of the project. And I faced lots of challenges running between the all departments, right from DDA to DMRC, NHAI, BSES, Delhi Jal Board and everything. Because the requirement of development of the project has not been communicated to them. So it was such a national importance project. And yes, that AI, I need one single platform is required where all this information are stored as far as this sovereignty is concerned, so that for any development perspective, it can be used as and when required for the infrastructure development purpose. And that will be helpful for us. That I'm looking for.
Great. So it's not only the question of sovereignty, obviously that is critical, but unification of a platform on a single platform, that is also critically important. Sumit, from a BECIL perspective, what is in the offing?
Actually,
on AI?
we are working on the content management, developing the
True.
models. So as we know that India is the one of the largest producer of the data for any domains. So what actually we are doing that right now, we are developing the model that can, because we also know that the data have the information of present, past and futures. So we are developing the model that can, whatever the broadcasting rights will be there, for the model can analyze the whole the data that's are floated on surface wave, dark wave or deep wave, and then it will be the decision making purposes for the government.
Okay.
So that's kind of the model actually we are working on. Second thing, at the perspective of the law side, thousands of cases are pending in courts. So for that we are also working to developing the models where can using the agentic AI, all the cases will be analyzed automatically and the reports will be produced.
Okay.
And the third things we are working on, it's a counter drone systems. It's not related to just providing the counter drone things. We are developing the models that can predict how much possibility of drone attacks will be there.
Okay.
So that's kind of the three projects we are working on.
Okay. Great. So one is more a creation of a knowledge base, if I understand it correctly. The second was you touched upon more on the techno-legal aspect, and the third is what you said is after 8th May, what happened on 8th May 2025. I think no one needs a second understanding why that become important. Okay, Sunando, you have the last word. From a solution provider perspective, what is there in the offering?
Yeah, so I think the way we have seen the AI space in the last 1.5 years developing, we have realized the importance of Yotta not just being an infrastructure provider, but also an ecosystem builder. Because
Okay.
India today really lacks a very strong ecosystem, where on one side you have providers like Yotta, which is giving the infrastructure, but you also need startups and ISVs which are building solutions, and then you need advanced solution providers, the global system integrators, the likes of Deloitte and Accenture, who will come and create bespoke offerings for large enterprises and PSUs. So this is something Yotta has taken on our own shoulders, and we are working with the entire ecosystem of large ISVs, model builders, solution providers, as well as the agentic AI platform providers, the people who will actually go and deliver the usable AI platform on top of our infrastructure. And so this is our major push right now, where we bring this entire ecosystem to the government bodies, to large enterprises, and enable them to actually consume AI the way it is supposed to.
Thank you. So we have touched upon a valuable point. From the morning, we have been hearing about, yes, the global best technology, combining with the local best infrastructure. But ultimately, there is a need of not just 2 or 3 partnerships working, but an overall ecosystem needs to be built. And rightly mentioned that will need the SIs, the ISVs, other application developers, and even the startups who will provide those agentic platforms to come together and building this overall ecosystem. Great. With that, we will conclude the panel discussion. But before we disperse, I would like to request Dr. Sushil Kumar Meher to hand over a token of gratitude to all our panelists. So Meher, if you can join us. Can we have the tokens? SN Tripathi. Varsha Nirbhavane. Ananta Jagdale. Sunando Bhattacharya. I would request all of you to join us for a